My stepsister broke down in tears saying goodbye to me for college. My mom met my stepfather when I was 9 years old and they got married 2 years later. My biological father was a ruthless, evil man who put my mom through unbelievable trauma, and the fact that my stepdad got my mom to open up and trust him is incredible. We immediately became close and I quickly started calling him dad since he saved my mom and I was desperate for a father figure. He had a daughter from a previous relationship who he was the single parent of, and she did not take a liking to me at all. She is a year younger than me and immediately saw me as a threat. My stepsister and mom became close but she understandably went to her dad for everything and this sometimes created conflict. She and her father are extremely close and she felt like I was taking his attention away from her. She would barely speak to me and saw everything as a competition. When we did talk, it was us arguing about something that would not matter 10 minutes later. We respected each other but she saw me as someone trying to take her father away from her and she let me know about it. If I did something she needed to beat me at the task so she could appear like the superior person between us. I had relatively good grades, 3.5 GPA, but she needed to have a 4.0 GPA to prove that she was more intelligent than me. I joined student leadership my freshman year and stuck with it throughout high school and was fine staying in my commission, but she joined the next year and became the president of student leadership so she could be on top of me power-wise. We were active in sports, I played football and she plays volleyball, and whenever I won an award or had a good game she would feel the need to talk about how she had a better game that week. Whenever we exercised together she would intentionally try harder than me. It reached the point where she was working out too much and her health was starting to be affected and her doctor said she needed to stop overworking her body, and that was when she kind of stopped seeing everything between us as a competition. I still cannot play any video games with her because if I lost she will let me know about it for a week. I tried making things work but I eventually got tired of it and let her do her thing. If she comes off as narcissistic I promise she is the complete opposite. She is one of the nicest and most giving people I know. She and her best friend worked with our high school to start a food drive every Thanksgiving for underprivileged families in our area. She is just competitive to an unhealthy degree. Anyways, on Wednesday after I moved into my dorm I said goodbye to my parents and sister and went to go finish setting my bed up. A couple minutes later someone knocked on my door and when I opened it, my sister was standing there in tears. She started crying in the parking lot and her father sent her back to talk to me. She gave me the biggest hug of my life and started apologizing for how she treated me growing up. She was mean for no reason and she was sorry for thinking I was trying to take her father away from her. She always looked up to me and secretly wished she had my laid-back demeanor instead of being constantly anxious and uptight. She revealed that on days when her anxiety was through the roof she would walk in the vicinity of where I was and sit there, because my calming presence helped her relax. I always wondered why she would randomly walk into my room to do homework or play a video game without ever speaking to me, and if I asked what she was doing she told me to shut up, but I finally know. I always treated her with kindness even on days when she would be ice cold to me, and she wished she could go back in time to redo how she interacted with me. She mentioned a time in middle school when I stuck up for her and she never forgot about it. She went through a massive glow-up phase the summer before high school but was the typical dorky awkward middle schooler, and she was being heavily bullied for a long time, so I found the 2 boys who were bullying her and told them to leave her alone. I was bigger than them so they stood down and left her alone for the rest of middle school. My sister found out that I was the one who put an end to the bullying and she secretly appreciated me having her back despite barely talking to me at the time. I hugged her back and we probably stayed like that for about 2 minutes. The longer we embraced the more I could feel the tension between us leave our bodies. We eventually let go of each other and composed ourselves and she left. Half an hour later, she sent me a text message telling me how good of a person I am and how I'm going to succeed in college and it made me burst into tears. When I was younger I would cry at night wishing I had a stable family life and I received that and much more. This morning my sister called me to ask a question about something and she did not insult me other than calling me an idiot, which is basically her nickname for me at this point. It was a weird feeling lol.